Good morning. Let me ask you a question. How do you start your day? The first moments of your morning are critical. They set the trajectory for everything that follows. But there is a secret to making those first moments not just good but powerful. That secret is in starting your day with Psalm 27. Every day is a new opportunity. As the sun rises, it brings with it the chance to begin again, to face a new set of challenges and opportunities. But how we begin that day makes all the difference. If we wake up overwhelmed by the burdens of yesterday or afraid of what tomorrow might bring, we are not stepping into the day with the right mindset. How you begin your morning determines how you will navigate the day. One powerful way to set your morning and your life on the right course is by starting your day with Psalm 27. This psalm is not just a passage from the Bible, it is a declaration. It is a statement of faith, confidence, and victory. It is a battle cry against fear, doubt, and uncertainty, and it prepares your spirit to face the challenges of the day. When you begin your morning with the words of Psalm 27, you are aligning yourself with a divine purpose and setting your heart and mind in the right direction from the very first moment you rise. The opening of Psalm 27 says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid?" These words are not simply affirmations, they are declarations of truth. They declare that God is your light, your guidance, your protection. The Lord is your salvation, meaning that no matter what happens, you are secure in Him. And when you start your day with this truth, you begin to shift your mindset from one of fear to one of strength and confidence. You are reminding yourself that no matter what you face, God is with you. Fear is one of the greatest enemies of progress. Fear can paralyze you, hold you back, and keep you from living the life you were created for. But when you begin your day with Psalm 27, you confront fear head on. The psalmist boldly declares that because the Lord is our light and salvation, there is nothing we need to fear. No enemy, no obstacle, no uncertainty can take away the assurance that God is on our side. This declaration not only combats fear, but it instills courage, strength, and confidence. When you speak these words in the morning, you are not just reading them, you are living them, inviting God's protection and power into your life. Psalm 27 is a powerful reminder that you are not alone in the world. So often we allow our circumstances to overwhelm us, forgetting that we have access to the Creator of the universe. But Psalm 27 shifts our perspective. It reminds us that God is not just some distant figure, He is actively involved in our lives. He is our light leading us through the darkness, showing us the way. He is our salvation, protecting us from harm and rescuing us when we fall. He is the stronghold of our life, our refuge, our safe place where we can find peace and rest. When you start your day with Psalm 27, you are acknowledging that God's presence is with you. This is more than just a mental exercise, it is an act of faith. Acknowledging God's presence at the beginning of your day allows His wisdom, peace, and strength to flow into every aspect of your life. You are preparing yourself to walk in His light, to live according to His will, and to be assured that He is with you every step of the way. But Psalm 27 does more than just speak of God's protection. It also speaks of a deep longing for His presence. "One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life." This is a powerful declaration of purpose. It's not just about asking God for what we want, but about desiring to be close to Him, to dwell in His presence. When we start our day with Psalm 27, we are reminded that our ultimate desire should be to align our lives with God's will. We are not simply seeking His protection, but His purpose. Starting your day with Psalm 27 sets the foundation for a life of faith. It's not just about reciting words, it's about living those words. It's about building a foundation of trust and confidence in God that will carry you through every circumstance. As you speak these words, you are declaring that God is with you, that His light will guide you, that His salvation will protect you, and that His presence will be your strength. But it's more than just one day. Starting your day with Psalm 27 is about cultivating a lifestyle of faith. It's about choosing to walk in God's light, trusting in His protection, and seeking His presence each and every day. When you make this psalm a part of your daily routine, you begin to see life through a different lens. Fear loses its power, doubts fade away, and you step into each day with the confidence that God is with you. There is power in starting your day with Psalm 27. It shifts your focus from the uncertainties of life to the unshakable confidence you can have in God. It builds a foundation of faith that will carry you through the storms of life. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, take a moment to declare Psalm 27 over your life. Let these words be your declaration of faith, and watch as God leads you through each day with peace, confidence, and victory. Psalm 27 is not just a reflection of God's protection and guidance, it is a bold affirmation of confidence in His ability to guard and lead us. When we declare these words in the morning, we are not merely reciting a scripture, we are establishing a powerful truth in our lives. We are saying, I trust God and I know that His protection is greater than any danger, any challenge, or any force that may try to come against me today. In the opening verses, the psalmist proclaims, the Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? These words aren't just a passive request for help. They are a proclamation of deep trust in God's supremacy. The psalmist isn't simply asking God for help, but affirming that there is nothing, no circumstance, no fear, no enemy that can overpower God's protection. In that single statement, there is an unwavering declaration that God is not only able but willing to protect His children from all harm. Imagine beginning your day by affirming that nothing can come against you that is stronger than God's protection. That is the confidence Psalm 27 speaks of. When you declare that the Lord is your salvation and the stronghold of your life, you are not simply acknowledging His presence, you are actively choosing to live in that truth. You are choosing to allow that truth to shape your thoughts, your words, and your actions throughout the day. By starting your day in this way, you are inviting God's supremacy over every situation, no matter how challenging it may seem. This declaration of confidence is not about denying the reality of difficulties or dangers in life. It's not about pretending that challenges won't come or that the road will always be smooth. What Psalm 27 teaches us is that even in the face of adversity, we have a source of strength that is greater than anything the world can throw at us. When you declare that the Lord is your stronghold, you are affirming that your safety and security are not dependent on your circumstances or your ability to handle everything on your own. They are found in the strength and protection of God. The confidence expressed in Psalm 27 isn't just a fleeting feeling of security, it is a foundation that holds up against the trials and tribulations of life. In the midst of uncertainty, when fear tries to creep in, or when the storms of life rage around you, you can stand firm knowing that God is your shield. This confidence doesn't come from a place of arrogance or self-sufficiency, but from a place of deep dependence on God. You are declaring that His power and protection are the ultimate reality in your life. Moreover, when you begin your day by declaring God's protection, you are establishing His supremacy in every area of your life. You are saying that no problem is bigger than God's ability to solve it. No challenge is stronger than His might. This is why it is so powerful to start your day with Psalm 27. It places your focus not on the obstacles ahead, but on the greatness of God, who stands above all things. It's a choice to make God the focal point of your life. And in doing so, you allow His strength to direct and shape everything you encounter. Imagine walking into your day with the firm belief that no weapon formed against you will prosper. You are not walking into your day alone, but with the full force of God's protection surrounding you. Whether you're facing relational challenges, financial struggles, or difficult decisions, declaring Psalm 27 will remind you that God is your shield, your fortress, and your defense. This declaration of confidence also strengthens your spirit. Life can often bring moments that make us feel small, overwhelmed, or helpless. But when you start your day by affirming God's strength and protection, you fortify your inner man. The psalmist declares, "The Lord is my light and my salvation." This is not just a statement of fact, it is a declaration that shapes your mindset, emotions, and perspective. When you say these words aloud, you are actively taking ownership of that reality. You are saying, "God is my light, my salvation, my stronghold. And because of that, I will not be shaken. I will not be moved. I will stand firm in His strength." Starting your day with this confidence in God's protection has a profound impact on how you face the rest of the day. It empowers you to face challenges with a boldness that comes from knowing you are covered by a force far greater than anything the world can throw at you. It allows you to walk in peace even in uncertainty, because you know that God's protection is with you. In essence, Psalm 27 is a declaration that nothing can touch you without God's permission, and that His presence in your life is greater than any fear, any enemy, or any circumstance. By starting your day with this declaration, you are affirming that you trust God completely to guide you, protect you, and lead you in His purposes. You are declaring His supremacy in every area of your life. And when you do that, you create a foundation of faith and confidence that cannot be shaken. Psalm 27 begins with a profound reminder that the Lord is our light and our salvation, and this truth is powerful when embraced first thing in the morning. When we acknowledge God's presence at the start of our day, we are not simply recognizing His existence, we are inviting His divine guidance, wisdom, and strength into our lives. This simple yet profound act of recognition shifts our entire mindset, moving us from fear and anxiety to peace and assurance. It sets the tone for everything that comes afterward. The psalmist's declaration, "The Lord is my light and my salvation," speaks volumes about the nature of God and His role in our lives. Light represents clarity, guidance, and understanding. Just as light dispels darkness and illuminates the way, God's presence in our lives dispels confusion, doubt, and fear. When you start your day by acknowledging God as your light, you are choosing to trust in His guidance and to follow where He leads. It means that no matter what comes your way, you are not walking in the darkness of uncertainty, but in the light of His wisdom and truth. Acknowledging God as your light also means recognizing that He is your source of knowledge and direction. In a world full of distractions and competing voices, it is easy to feel lost or overwhelmed. But when you start your day by acknowledging God's presence, you make a conscious choice to listen to His voice above all others. You invite His clarity into your decisions, His peace into your anxieties, and His wisdom into your actions. The psalm reminds us that the Lord doesn't just shine a light on our paths, He is the light that guides us through the complexities of life. So when you acknowledge Him at the beginning of the day, you are aligning yourself with His divine purpose, knowing that He will lead you through every challenge. Salvation, as mentioned in the psalm, is not only a deliverance from sin or eternal separation from God, but also a present, ongoing deliverance in our day-to-day lives. By acknowledging God as your salvation, you are affirming that He is your source of protection, your strength, and your refuge from the difficulties and dangers of life. Salvation is a daily experience, not just a one-time event. And when you invite God's presence into your day, you are acknowledging that He is actively working to protect you and deliver you from anything that might come against you. This acknowledgement of His protection gives you the confidence to face the challenges of the day without fear, knowing that God is with you and is more than capable of handling any obstacles in your path. This acknowledgement of God's presence doesn't just provide protection and guidance, it also brings peace and assurance. The world is filled with pressures, stresses, and uncertainties. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and the weight of the world can quickly weigh down on us. But when we start our day by acknowledging God's presence, we are acknowledging that He is in control. This simple act of recognition shifts our focus from the chaos around us to the calm and peace that comes from knowing God is with us. The psalmist's words remind us that with God as our light and salvation, we do not need to be afraid. There is a peace that comes from resting in His presence, knowing that no matter what comes our way, He is more than able to guide, protect, and provide. Moreover, acknowledging God's presence at the beginning of the day is an invitation for His strength to empower us. Life can be tiring, and we often face challenges that seem beyond our ability to handle. But when we acknowledge God's presence, we are also inviting His strength into our lives. His power is made perfect in our weakness, and when we start the day with Him, we are saying, God, I cannot do this on my own, but with you, all things are possible. This invitation opens the door for God's supernatural strength to empower us to handle whatever challenges come our way. Whether it's a difficult task, a tough conversation, or a challenging decision, God's strength becomes our own when we acknowledge His presence. Furthermore, when you start your day by acknowledging God as your light and salvation, you are reminding yourself that you are never alone. God is with you every step of the way, and His presence is always available to you. This truth is especially powerful when faced with moments of loneliness, uncertainty, or fear. There is a sense of assurance that comes from knowing that the Creator of the universe is walking beside you. This is the peace that surpasses understanding, a peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances but comes from the deep assurance that God is with you, guiding you, and protecting you. When we recognize God's presence in the morning, we align ourselves with His purposes and open ourselves to His power. It's a simple but life-changing practice. By acknowledging God's presence, we set the tone for the entire day, choosing to walk in His light and salvation. This act of recognition shifts our perspective from fear and anxiety to faith and peace. It centers us in His presence, empowers us with His strength, and ensures that His wisdom is leading us through the challenges of the day. As we begin our day with this acknowledgement, we invite God's presence to guide us, protect us, and fill us with peace, transforming the way we approach the day ahead. Psalm 27 offers a powerful lesson on overcoming fear by embracing faith. The psalmist's declaration that the Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear, speaks directly to the heart of what it means to face our fears with courage. Fear is one of the most paralyzing forces in life. It can stop us in our tracks, rob us of peace, and keep us from stepping into the fullness of what God has for us. But Psalm 27 calls us to rise above that fear, knowing that God is with us, fighting our battles and protecting us from harm. Starting your day with Psalm 27 is a declaration that fear has no place in your life today. It is a choice to confront every fear, every uncertainty, and every doubt with the confidence that God is on your side. When you speak these words in the morning, you are not just declaring your trust in God, but you are also making an active decision to reject fear and to walk forward in faith. Fear cannot hold you back when you are anchored in the truth that God is your light, your salvation, and your stronghold. These truths will give you the strength to face anything that comes your way. The power of Psalm 27 is that it teaches us to not only acknowledge fear, but to confront it with faith. It's easy to let fear dictate your thoughts and actions, especially when faced with the unknown. The fear of failure, rejection, or the challenges ahead can feel overwhelming. But the psalmist encourages us to look at our fear through the lens of God's presence and power. He is our salvation, which means that no fear, no enemy, no challenge is stronger than His protection and ability to deliver us. When we acknowledge God as our salvation, we are reminding ourselves that He is more than capable of handling whatever comes our way. Psalm 27 also encourages us to face fear with courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward in spite of it. Fear will always try to hold us back from stepping into our purpose, from taking risks, from pursuing what God has called us to do. But courage, rooted in the knowledge that God is with us, enables us to take the next step even when we feel afraid. Courage is the fuel that drives us to keep going, even when the path is uncertain or difficult. When you start your day with Psalm 27, you are choosing to walk confidently into your day, knowing that God is with you and that He is greater than anything you may face. Fear has the power to paralyze, but faith has the power to energize. Faith activates the power of God in our lives. When we choose to believe in God's promises and declare His truth over our fears, we are tapping into a divine source of strength that cannot be shaken. Starting your day with Psalm 27 is an act of faith, a declaration that you will not be ruled by fear, but by the confidence that comes from knowing that God is fighting for you. With faith, you are empowered to face every challenge, knowing that the battle is not yours alone, but that God is your protector and your source of strength. Another aspect of Psalm 27 that helps us conquer fear is the understanding that God is actively fighting our battles. The psalmist writes, "Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear though war break out against me. Even then I will be confident." This is a powerful statement of trust in God's ability to fight on our behalf. We are not alone in the battles we face. Whether the battles are emotional, relational, or physical, God is our protector. When you start your day with Psalm 27, you are acknowledging that God is already at work behind the scenes, preparing the way for victory. You do not need to fight in your own strength. God is fighting your battles for you. This truth gives you the courage to move forward, knowing that the outcome is already secured in God's hands. Moreover, fear often arises from a sense of helplessness or lack of control. But Psalm 27 reminds us that we are not powerless. We have a God who is not only capable of handling every situation, but who also desires to walk with us through every trial. When we face fear with the knowledge that God is with us, we are reminded that we have access to divine strength, wisdom, and victory. We are not fighting alone, and we are not fighting in vain. God is our refuge, and He has already declared victory over every fear, every enemy, and every obstacle that stands in our way. Starting your day with Psalm 27 is not just about conquering fear in the moment, it is about establishing a lifestyle of faith and confidence in God. The more we speak these truths over our lives, the more they become the foundation upon which we build our courage. Fear may still come, but when you start your day by declaring that God is your light, your salvation, and your stronghold, you are setting yourself up to face the day with a heart of courage and a spirit of faith. As you begin each day with Psalm 27, you are not just acknowledging that fear exists, you are declaring that fear has no power over you. You are choosing to walk confidently, knowing that God is fighting your battles, protecting you, and empowering you to face whatever challenges come your way. Fear may try to show up, but when it does, you will face it head-on, armed with the confidence that God's presence and power will always be greater. Fear will not paralyze you, faith will energize you, and victory will be your portion as you walk in the strength and courage that comes from God alone. Psalm 27 expresses a deep longing for God's presence and a desire to live in alignment with His will. The psalmist declares, "One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life." This longing is not just for proximity to God, but for purpose. The psalmist desires to be in the place where God's presence can guide, lead, and direct their every move. Starting your day with these words is a powerful reminder that your life has purpose, and it calls you to pursue that purpose in every aspect of your day. When you acknowledge the truth in Psalm 27, you are not just waking up to face another day of routine tasks, you are awakening to the reality that your life is part of something greater. God has a purpose for you, and it's not just about what you do, but about aligning your actions, your relationships, and your goals with His calling. By starting your day with Psalm 27, you remind yourself that your life is not accidental, and your time on earth is not without meaning. Every action, every conversation, every decision you make has the potential to be a part of fulfilling God's greater plan for you. The desire to dwell in God's house is symbolic of the psalmist's desire to live continually in the presence of God. To dwell in His presence is not just a physical location, but a state of being where God's influence shapes your thoughts, attitudes, and choices. It is a place of alignment, where your heart beats in rhythm with God's will for your life. When you start your day by affirming this desire to dwell in God's presence, you are also committing to pursue His purpose throughout the day. Your work, your relationships, and your actions are not merely about achieving personal goals or fulfilling daily obligations. They are about fulfilling the purpose that God has placed in your heart. Pursuing God's purpose means living intentionally and with clarity. It requires us to seek His guidance in everything we do, Psalm 27 teaches us that by pursuing God's presence, we are aligning ourselves with His will. This alignment brings a sense of clarity and direction that goes beyond what we can achieve on our own. Life can sometimes feel like a series of disconnected events, but when you pursue God's purpose, your life becomes a cohesive journey, a journey of meaning, impact, and divine fulfillment. As you start your day with Psalm 27, ask yourself, how can I align my actions today with the purpose God has set for me? Whether you're heading into a meeting, engaging in a difficult conversation, or simply going about your daily tasks, recognizing that you are fulfilling God's purpose in every moment transforms the way you approach life. Each task becomes an opportunity to serve God. Each relationship a chance to reflect His love and grace. You begin to see that your purpose is not confined to grand, life-changing moments, but is woven into the fabric of everyday life. This pursuit of purpose also involves being sensitive to God's leading. As you declare Psalm 27 in the morning, you are opening yourself up to His wisdom and guidance for the day ahead. You are saying, God, I want to be in your presence, and I want to walk in the path you have set for me. When you live with this mindset, you begin to see the opportunities and moments that God places before you, leading you to align your life with His divine plan. Your work becomes more than just a job, it becomes a means of fulfilling God's purpose. Your relationships become more than just personal connections, they become avenues for God to work through you. Pursuing God's purpose also involves a commitment to His will, even when it is difficult. The psalmist's desire to dwell in the house of the Lord reflects a commitment to God's ways, no matter what challenges arise. Pursuing God's purpose is not always easy, but it is always worth it. There will be times when the path is unclear or when circumstances challenge your faith. But when you start your day with a desire to pursue God's will, you are choosing to trust that His purpose for your life is greater than any obstacle you might face. As you begin each day with Psalm 27, you are declaring that your life has a purpose that is greater than just the routines of daily life. You are committing to live intentionally, aligning your actions with God's calling for you. This commitment opens the door for God to work through you in ways you might not expect. Whether in your family, your workplace, or your community, when you pursue God's purpose, your life becomes a reflection of His will, His love, and His glory. In every situation, big or small, you are reminded that your work, your relationships, and your actions should reflect the truth that you are living out God's purpose. This gives your day a sense of focus and intentionality, as you recognize that every decision you make can be an opportunity to fulfill the unique calling God has placed on your life. Starting your day with Psalm 27 reminds you that you are not here by accident, but that God has a plan for your life, and you are called to live in alignment with that plan. Building a lifestyle of faith is more than just a morning ritual. It's about cultivating a heart that trusts in God's faithfulness every day. When you start your day with Psalm 27, you are laying the foundation for a life that is consistently centered on God's presence, His protection, and His purpose. This daily act of beginning with His Word and declaring His truths over your life doesn't just shape your morning, it shapes the way you approach everything throughout the day. It's about creating a rhythm of faith that flows seamlessly into every area of your life so that you are not simply reacting to circumstances, but responding from a place of divine strength and trust in God's sovereignty. Starting your day with Psalm 27 is an act of consistent trust in God's faithfulness. Each time you declare that the Lord is my light and my salvation, you are affirming that God's presence is your foundation. This declaration isn't just for the moment, but a reminder that no matter what the day brings, God is faithful to provide, protect, and guide you through it. It's a declaration that you are relying on Him, not on your own strength, wisdom, or ability to control the outcome. In essence, it's an intentional choice to position your heart and mind in a place of dependence on God, ensuring that every part of your day flows from His strength. A lifestyle of faith means living each day with an unwavering trust in God's promises. Psalm 27 serves as a powerful reminder that God is always with us, always watching over us, and always ready to guide us. When you start your day by meditating on these truths, you begin to shift your perspective from what is visible and immediate to what is eternal and unshakable. Your faith becomes less about having control over your circumstances and more about trusting God with everything you face. It's about learning to live in His peace, His wisdom, and His grace, knowing that He is present in every moment, even when you don't see the way forward. By making Psalm 27 part of your daily routine, you are developing the habit of relying on God. This consistency builds a foundation of faith that is not easily shaken. It's easy to trust God when everything is going well, but a lifestyle of faith means trusting Him in every season, in the mountaintops and the valleys, in times of peace and in times of struggle. As you begin your day with the truths of Psalm 27, you are strengthening your trust in God, not just for the day ahead, but for every moment of your life. You are cultivating a heart that looks to God first, trusting that He is more than able to handle whatever challenges arise. Building a lifestyle of faith also means developing an awareness of God's presence throughout the day. When you start your day with Psalm 27, you are setting the tone for the entire day. But that doesn't end when you leave your home or start your work. Throughout your day, you carry the awareness of God's presence with you. This ongoing recognition of His faithfulness helps to anchor you in moments of difficulty, reminding you that you are never alone and that God is always with you, strengthening you, guiding you, and providing what you need. A lifestyle of faith also requires active dependence on God. It's easy to slip into self-reliance, believing that we can handle things on our own. But Psalm 27 teaches us that God is the source of our strength, our salvation, and our guidance. When we start our day by acknowledging that God is our light, our salvation, and our stronghold, we are choosing to let go of our own limited understanding and trusting in God's unlimited power. This daily act of dependence builds a habit of surrender, where we continually turn to God for wisdom, for strength, and for peace in every situation. When we build a lifestyle of faith, it's not just about what we say in the morning, it's about how we live throughout the day. Starting your day with Psalm 27 reminds you to stay connected to God, to trust in His faithfulness, and to live out your purpose with confidence, knowing that He is with you every step of the way. This consistency shapes your character and transforms your perspective, making faith not just a practice, but a way of life. It helps you to see challenges as opportunities to trust in God, to lean on His strength, and to rely on His wisdom, rather than on your own understanding. The beauty of cultivating a lifestyle of faith through Psalm 27 is that it creates a foundation of trust and dependence that allows you to walk through life with assurance and peace. Life may not always go as planned, but when your faith is anchored in God's faithfulness, you can navigate the ups and downs with confidence. Starting each day with Psalm 27 isn't just about setting the tone for today. It's about building a lasting lifestyle of faith that sustains you, strengthens you, and empowers you to live out the calling God has placed on your life. As you continue to start your day with this powerful psalm, you are not just practicing a ritual, you are shaping a life that is rooted in faith, trust, and dependence on God. You are building a foundation that will carry you through every season, knowing that God's strength and faithfulness are constant, and that His presence will guide you every step of the way. This lifestyle of faith allows you to face each day with the confidence that comes from knowing God is with you, and that through Him you can do all things. As you begin each day with the powerful words of Psalm 27, you are not simply reciting a passage, you are embracing a lifestyle. A lifestyle that declares you are anchored in God's presence, fortified by His protection, and empowered to live out His purpose for your life. You are making a conscious decision to build a foundation of faith that will not be shaken, no matter the challenges or uncertainties the day may bring. This psalm is not just an early morning ritual, it is the declaration of a life fully dependent on God's strength, wisdom, and guidance. It reminds you that fear has no place when you walk in His light, that every decision you make should align with His divine purpose, and that His faithfulness is your unshakable foundation. With each word spoken, you are inviting God to lead you, to direct your steps, and to manifest His power through your life. When you make Psalm 27 the foundation of your morning, you are choosing to trust in God's supremacy, to acknowledge His presence in every moment, and to confidently face the day, knowing that He is fighting your battles. This is the power of starting your day with Psalm 27. It is not just about the start of the day, it's about the transformation of your entire life, anchored in faith, purpose, and divine strength. So as you rise each day, remember you are a vessel of God's power, a reflection of His purpose, and a beacon of His light. Let Psalm 27 be the lens through which you view your day, and let it guide you into a life of consistent faith, unshakable confidence, and unyielding trust in the God who holds your future. Your day begins with Him, and through Him you can do all things.